Welcome to Focus on Fresh for the West Seattle Thriftway. We feature what's fresh, local, and delicious, and show you how to cook it. Hi, you guys. It's Mary White again for my friends at the West Seattle Thriftway. And you know, this time of year, lamb is everywhere. And lamb it's one of my favorite proteins. But sometimes, you know, like if you have a big leg of lamb at Easter, that's delicious, right? And it's a wonderful thing. But what they have at the Thriftway, which I think is brilliant, are these lamb, it's like a lamb steak from the leg of lamb. So if you don't want to buy a whole leg of lamb, if it's Wednesday night, you can just buy enough for dinner. And the thing that's cool about this is when you learn the methods to stir frying, one little piece of meat like this, you know, a chunk of protein, can serve 4 people, easy peasy. With the lamb, the stir fry is kind of like it's a Mediterranean influenced dish. So the way that you get maximum goodness from the meat, freeze it a little bit before you slice it. That way it'll be really firm and you can get really thin slices and it's really good. You want to slice it against the grain, and then we're going to mix it with all this good stuff. Cumin, coriander, paprika, vinegar, so good. So you want to cut it against the grain, like I said. And the grain is like, say it goes this way, so you'd want to go that way. That way it's a lot more tender. So real thin, I mean seriously like paper, like that. But see, because it's frozen, it's real easy to slice. So we're going to slice all this up and then get it in the marinade. So we got all the spices and the vinegar mixed up, and we're just going to take this thinly sliced lamb and sort of let it sit in the marinade. And this needs to sit for about 15 minutes in the fridge, but while that's sitting, you can do the other stuff. You know, get the rice started or whatever. So this is going to sit. Now, because this is a Mediterranean-inspired dish, I'm using olive oil as my hot oil. If you were using Asian flavors, you would want to use peanut oil. And sometimes just a regular old, you know, canola oil can work really well too. Smoking hot skillet. Okay, smoking hot. So hot skillet, cold oil. So you just go, maybe 2 tablespoons. And already it's just like, woo, really hot, right? So you got your marinated lamb. This goes quickly. And this goes right in. It should make a big old sizzle. Yeah. And just cook and stir for about 3-4 minutes. You want it pretty rare. You don't want this all well done or anything because it's got a little more cooking to do. So about 3-4 minutes, and then we're going to do the onions after that. You'll see. So the lamb is cooked for pretty briefly. But I'm taking it off while it's really, really rare. Look at that. And because we marinated it, it's going to be even more tender and delicious and fabulous. So this is going to sit for a few minutes, and we're going to saute the red onion. Now I'm just going to kind of cook and stir this red onion for about 3 minutes. Okay? And see how even the leftover marinade from that meat is getting all over the onions. And of course, you want to put the garlic in with the onions. And now we're going to add just a little bit of water and let that cook for a little while. Again, not long. On a weeknight, if you had all these things from your Thriftway, you could put this on the table in 20 minutes. Again, if we were doing an Asian stir fry, we'd be using a wok. And you could use a wok with this too if you wanted, but I just figured, you know what, it's Tuesday night and you're really hungry and you don't know where the wok is. So this is what we're doing. The onion is nice and tender, and that water made a little bit of a sauce. So the lamb goes right back in. Yeah. And this is where you want to make sure you have enough salt and pepper going on. Really needs salt. And don't be scared of salt, y'all. It's one of the most important things about cooking. Pepper. See, this is why you didn't want to cook the lamb too long, because it's going to cook a little bit more. And then like this. A little bit of non-fat Greek yogurt. This stuff it's so good. And it's just enough to give it a little bit of a creamy finish, make it kind of special, and it tastes really good. So in mere moments, look what we've got. Now, of course, you would serve this with rice or couscous, something like that. But basically, lamb, garlic, onions, and some really nice seasonings. Pretend this is a beautiful platter, okay? And then the good thing about this is you can use all kinds of garnishes. We've got some beautiful shelled pistachios that we chopped up. So we're just going to put some of those on top. Doesn't that look cool? And then mint, oregano, parsley, whichever you like. A little of that. It's looking really good now. And I love pomegranate seeds on this, but they're kind of not in season right now. But you know what's always good? This. It's pomegranate molasses. Of course, they have it, you know, in the condiment aisle at the store, and it's so good. Just a little bit though, just a few drops. Kind of want to do one of these, okay? Just a little bit, and it's going to give you a balance at the end of the dish. It's going to give you some sweetness and a little tang, which is kind of what you want. Hang on. Oh yeah. Oh, it's so good. So here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your Mediterranean lamb stir fry. And I'm not even waiting for a fork. I'm just going in. Is that rude? I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, here we go. That's so good. It's so good. Okay. Today's recipe will be on our website, westseattlethriftway.com. Recipes can also be found on my website, thepantryraid.com. Thanks so much. See you next time.